Welcome to the Tech-Dara reverse tutorial for Wipeout HD Fury. The reverse variant of Tech-Dara is somewhat easier than the forward version. The open sections retain the same difficulty as before, but of the two very difficult corners, one of them has an easier approach. Barrel roll opportunities are also more straightforward. There's no need to cut off corners just to pull one off. So let's start off by having a look at this track on Venom class. And now I'll take you through the whole track step by step. It seems to be a habit with the reverse Fury circuits that the most difficult corner series on the track is thrown at you right at the start. A sharp left ahead of you leads immediately into a long sharp right-hander. As always, where you've got two sharp corners immediately following each other, your approach to the first one will determine how well you can take the second. Start off as far over to the right hand side of the track as you can. Then just as you're about to cross the line, hit the left air brake and move over towards the left apex. As soon as you reach the left apex, slam on the right air brake and swing the craft into the right hander. If you do this correctly, you should just miss the apex. Make sure you keep the air brake held down throughout the corner. As you come out the other side, give a light tap to the left air brake to pull your craft into the left hander ahead of you. Once you're most of the way through the corner, use a left side shift to pull yourself away from the outside wall. Do remember that the next part of the track is a long open section. All the way through this next section, you need to make sure you're not too aggressive with the air brakes. If you apply the brakes too vigorously, you'll lose control of the craft and it's very likely that you'll end up flying off the track. The section ahead consists solely of two light left-handers. As you approach the first one here, just give a light tap to the left air brake and swing the craft slightly over to the right to hit a speed pad. The track immediately following it though is thin and completely open. After hitting the speed pad, you need to make sure your craft is as close to the centre of the track as you can possibly get it. For the second one, you just need to feather the left air brake slightly to take your craft through. Aim to exit just over to the left hand side of centre for a double speed pad. This shallow right bend here will take you onto a long ascending straight section. Once you've hit the double speed pad, move over to the right and take it with as straight a line as possible. Exit over to the left hand side. You don't need a turbo to get some height off of this small bump in the track, but it doesn't hurt to use it here if you have one. Staying over to the left hand side, go over the peak and barrel roll on the way down. If you don't use a turbo, you'll drop back down to the track and onto a speed pad. On the other side of this small peak is a long right-hander. However, as you go over, you'll have plenty of height for another barrel roll. It's always risky barrel rolling into a corner, but this one is light enough for you to take with only some light right braking. So as you go over the peak, barrel roll and use the right brake to ease your craft in line with the corner. Once you land, feather the right brake to guide the craft through the corner. Your line should take you through the centre or just over to the left-hand side. However, the corner does tighten at the end, so be ready with a right side shift to pull yourself away from the left wall. The final corner series is quite difficult, but as long as you get your timing right with the air brakes, it shouldn't be too bad. Once you exit the right hander and hit the speed pad here, stay over to the left hand side and wait for the wall to start to curl away from you. When it does, hit the left air brake and swing the craft into the corner and out on the right hand side. And so the final part of the series is a sharp left-right chicane. Because the left-hander is banked over to the right-hand side, it's incredibly difficult to see where the corner finishes and the right-hander to go back onto the home straight starts. However, there are some speed pads on the track that help you to gauge when you need to make your final right turn. So as you approach the first left-hander, make sure you're over to the right-hand side of the track. When you reach the end of the shadow you see ahead of you on the track, slam on the left air brake and move over towards the left apex. The craft should swing through. When you see the archway directly above you, immediately start turning over to the right and right side shift. This should take you over a speed pad and back onto the final straight. You may need to use some left air brakings on the straight to correct your direction. And now finally, let's see the whole lap done at full Phantom class speed. This concludes the track tutorials for Wipeout HD and the Fury expansion pack. A lot of time and effort has gone into making these videos, and I'd like to extend a warm thank you to everyone who has watched them and hopefully found them useful. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you online.